Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back your lovely faces to a brand new video here on the channel. And today we're going to be taking a look at a couple of articles where it's basically one article, but we're going to be looking at the truth as well. So, Daily Fail, they're back at it, you know. They have like a little steady run of doing good things, but then for some unknown reason they just decide to go about and, you know what, we're going to mess this up. And that's exactly what they've done here. Now, this is regarding Johnny Depp, because they've said it's an exclusive now as well, this is. Johnny Depp gets a little cash infusion as he takes out a $10 million loan to spruce up his West Hollywood castle after spending $650 million fortune on litigation with his wife, or ex-wife I should say, and reckless spending. No, he was swindled out of his money by his old management group, which what we're going to look at. So, it does go on to say around here, obviously, the Daily Mail, they have exclusive photos that they lay bare Johnny Depp's rundown castle-like West Hollywood mansion with overgrown trees and ripped canvas top towers that he purchased in '95 for $2.15 million, which, to be honest with you, that is a steal. Obviously, back then, it was a little bit different for prices than what they are now. Wouldn't surprise me if it's probably worth in the 10 to 20 million now. And it goes on to say about the 60-year-old who took out the $10 million mortgage on the property last year, despite spending most of his time on his private island in the Bahamas. His earning power has been reduced since his bruising court battle with ex-AH, and he earned only $3 million for his most recent movie. Then it goes on to say about cash-strapped Johnny Depp, quietly taking out the $10 million mortgage. He was forced to take out the 8-figure home loan with City National Bank, nicknamed the Bank to the Stars, stop that, and for its bumper borrowing deals to A-listers. In March 2022, after blowing his $650 million fortune on expensive litigation with his ex-wife and reckless spending, DailyFail.com has learned. But the Fantastic Beasts stars largely abandoned the 8-bedroom pile in West Hollywood and instead is spending most of his downtime at his island home in the Bahamas. Actually, he's just moved to the UK. So, you know, again, it's almost like this is an old story and they've just changed a few things around it. But what we're going to be taking a look at is Laura B on Twitter, the real Laura B. She has done a phenomenal thread on there, which breaks down every single thing that the Daily Fail has gotten wrong. Mostly that this was actually done years ago. Another rag that can't get its facts straight, TMG, the ex-managers, it is the management group, they arranged a bridge loan through themselves so they could get the money. They were responsible for paying his bills. They did not make timely or missed payments to themselves, putting the loan in default. Just let that sink in. So they got the loan for themselves and they were like, well, we're not going to make any payments or make it on time. We're just going to make it go into default. Then we can force him to do something. That's what they've done. Now, in 2016, when JD realised his finances were not as they should be, the kitchen video which we saw, which he does explain in it, he arranged for a deep dive audit and ultimately fired them. In retaliation in 2016, TMG filed the default notice and foreclosure on the castle. Now, we got a couple of court documents by here. I'm not going to read through them all, but I will leave the link to Laura B's thread down below for you. Now, per court documents, the loan original January 2013. And Depp thought it had been satisfied. Again, Mandel's were responsible for paying themselves. That's TMG, okay? So we've got by here, as you can see, the unpaid principal balance of $4.2 million plus accrued interest at 3.5%, which became all due and payable on the March the 15th, 2016, plus subsequent delinquencies. So we have all of that by there. Mandel's TMG filed a judicial foreclosure on the castle to force the sale on November 2017, and the only way to stop this foreclosure and public sale was for Johnny to sue him. Ultimately, he did sue him and he won a sizable settlement, which included TMG withdrawing the foreclosure. A spokesperson for Depp said, Johnny Depp is pleased to have achieved a settlement agreement with the management group, following the legal action he took against them in January of 2017. The lawsuit, taken out against the management group and the subsequent settlement, is a further demonstration that Johnny is determined to take firm action to protect his personal and artistic reputation in the interest of his family and his career. Then we also have this part by here, which is the Superior Court of the State of California. Going through it, the notice is hereby given that the above entitled action was commenced, on November 6, 2017. In the above entitled court by plaintiffs, the Mandel Company, the management group, and it's going on from there. That's what we got by there. So there's that one there. That's just the first part. Then, on July 2018, Mandel filed a declaration to hereby rescind, cancel, and withdraw the said declaration of default and demand for sale. Then, on August the 13th, 2018, they filed a release of claims on the property, which we have this one by here. As you can see, there's a lot of stuff there, but we've got the date by there. Therefore, notice is hereby given, July 31st, 2018. We've also got this court document here by Susan C. MacIsaac. Another one, and the Hollywood Reporter even done it as well. So we have that by there. And it just keeps going on though. As I said, I will be leaving this below for you guys if you want to give it a read as well. Here is further explanation if the handling of the TMG to Depp loan is claimed in his lawsuit against them. Shocking read. This is the one that I probably will read out for you guys. So TMG's conflict of interest and self-dealing in loaning $5 million directly to Mr. Depp and servicing that loan on his behalf. The conflicts of interest in loaning $5 million directly to Mr. Depp in or around March of April 2012. As referenced above, TMG caused Mr. Depp to obtain a $5 million unsecured line of credit from City National Bank. In or around late 2012, TMG, on behalf of Mr. Depp, failed to meet the payment obligations as line of credit. As such, the bank accelerated a promissory note signed by Mr. Depp, which required payment of $5 million by the end of the year. On information and belief, this default would not have occurred, but for TMG's expenditure of millions of dollars in unauthorized disbursements and exorbitant expenses during the same time period. Which is what we saw. We saw that they were spending it on everything that they wanted for themselves. They were literally spending his money like there was no tomorrow. But it does go on to say about, obviously, they caused Mr. Depp to exchange an uncollateralized debt for one secured by his own primary residence. It's just absolutely insane. $5 million. If they did it just to Johnny as well, and I can see at the top, 965 pages that one is. If they did this to Johnny, how many other people have they done this to? How many other, actors and superstars have they swindled their money away? Because I doubt it was just Johnny who they had on their books. And then it goes on as well. Another TMG incident via Johnny Depp's deposition transcript. As his financial manager, Mandel negotiated his purchase of the 5 Eastern Columbia building penthouses, all purchased at full price. Then Mandel negotiated a purchase for himself and negotiated a discount for himself of $800,000. That is insane. So, this is Johnny's transcript from November 10th, 2020. Just things that you wouldn't do. For example, if I buy a couple of penthouses in the building and I'm paying full price and he's negotiating the deal, but I pay full price for all of these penthouses, and from that he makes a deal and gets $800,000 cut off his purchase, his and his brother's purchase of one of those, or one of those lofts downtown in that same building, and they got it for $1 million as opposed to 1.8 after I'd pay full price for 5 of them. Anything else? There are lots of things, but I don't want to go on a tangent, so asking me specifically what you'd like me to talk about. That is just insane. Literally, it's like, right, okay, he'll buy all these off you at full price, but if I'm going to buy something, I want a lot of money off. I nearly want a half price. That's just nuts, because I bet you with that, because obviously, it's Johnny Depp. If Johnny went forward and say, look, I want to buy 5 of these, what's the best deal you could give me? They probably would have been like, boom, okay, we'll give you this, so much of this money off or whatever, or we'll throw in this and we'll do that for you. That's probably what would have happened. But this guy just seemed to be like one hell of a TMG. They just seem to be like crooks, just criminals. And as you can see, Maggie, what she said here is exactly true. Laura, my jaw is on the floor at this thread. I knew something of it vaguely, but the details are horrifying. I'm speechless. On the other hand, I'm in awe of how you always lay out the truth in clear steps and documents. JD's truth teller, thank you. Yeah, you know, when Laura gets this stuff done, it's absolutely amazing. I forgot I didn't have it on there, but we got that by Maggie. And it is. It's absolutely insane what these people do. And to think they can get away with it, I think that's the part that really just grinds my gears the most. Because you got Johnny Depp, at the time, remember, was still a $1 billion superstar, and doing every film he was doing was, you know, critical lists and everything else. And you still had the audacity to be like, let's rob him. That's basically what they did, and it's just sick. It's just sickening. If you are new to the channel, please like and subscribe, hit that notification bell for future updates, and I'll see you all very soon.